All right. Hey, once again, this is something new we're trying. This is a new show that I've got. It's called Sports Therapy. Let me turn my volume down. It's called Sports Therapy March Madness Edition. A little bit different. We're going to keep the same format as we had in our previous shows, but we're going to be talking March Madness. March Madness. In fact, I have a pool of friends that I play with. They're a member of my happy my happy group. But I set up this show and only to talk about March Madness, man, bracket busting and all that. As you can see, I have a different uniform of my own. It is all about basketball. We'll keep the same format. Well, callers will have 2 minutes to call, rip, rant, kick a little knowledge, and share some knowledge about, you know what, the March Madness. I've got my bracket here. The number to call, if you want to call in, is 940-329-4110. And that's how we're going to start. We're going to keep it rolling. Now, I have the shows that I might go. Well, the way the format is that we're gonna come on immediately after the last game. In fact, I just got through watching the A&M Aggies just screw up my bracket, but it is what it is, man. At this point, it is what it is. Let's see here. I'm gonna pull up some things here that I got. First, I'm gonna talk about. Let's see here. I'm gonna talk about my bracket. Now, I watched. The game started off today. Let's see. We started off with some good competition, and competition is always good. And one thing I like about March Madness. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I am a card carrying Razorback fan. As you can see, based on what I got on, I love my Hogs. Um, but the problem is that you can love your team, but you don't have to. There's some people, they think that you can't say anything bad about your team. If you say anything bad about your team, then you automatically have some problems. So we're gonna get into that. For therapy,
Hello?
March Madness.
What's
What say, caller?
up?
Hey, this is a new show we're doing. It's called Sports Therapy March Madness. Now, let me say this. Is your bracket busted yet?
It is messed up since Virginia lost this morning. I'm
uh
still sick.
so now let me ask you this question. Who are you? What team you got picked to win it all?
They might not win it all, but I'm gonna go for my hog. I'm gonna go for Arkansas.
Woo pig. Woo pig. Woo pig. Woo 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 pig. Now, um, let me jump in here real quick because now I am a hog fan too. As you can see, I'm actually decked out in all my Razorback attire. I got my standard hog hat on. Um, but as I was getting ready to talk about, when it comes to my hog fans, yeah, now Now the team that I follow, I'm not gonna lie, although what I like about the March Madness CBS tournament is that it's on 4 different channels. So you can go and watch all the teams, and that's what I do, man. I've been watching basketball. I'm sorry, I've been watching basketball all day. Oh man, I've been watching basketball since probably 11 o'clock a.m. and now it's like 11:30 p.m. And the game started. Let's see. First game I really tuned into was let me see. The first games I watched today, I actually watched Duke and all them. They played last. When I say last, they played later tonight. But cause normally when I set up my bracket this year, there is truth be told, there is about I don't know. That's probably 40 teams that can win this championship. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I didn't spend a lot of time on picking my teams. I got two brackets. One, I just hit a button and I just let the computer pick pick my team. I did. I was like, you know what?
Right.
I just like a boom auto schedule, and I was like, okay. So in my auto schedule bracket where I just let the system pick it, it's got my team. I got to win it all. All the Crimson Tide of Alabama. Now you got to understand, it's hard for me to go with Alabama because oh man, I have a love hate relationship with the Crimson Tide for football. But hey, they got a good team, man. They got a good team, and they were picked to win it all. So how did you pick your team? Did you spend a lot of time doing
I picked mine first off based on loyalty.
it?
Or like I said, I'm sorry. I meant to do two bets, but I didn't get that second one in yet time. But that is dun. And then the rest of them, it was basically just going like on good. But I found how how things were ranked.
So now let me ask you this question. Now let's talk bracket buster. Did Arizona bust your bracket?
Yeah,
I know.
them jokers
Ah,
messed me up. At first, I was trying to get over Virginia, and then here comes Arizona.
I had now, like I said, I got two brackets. I got one I had the computer pick it, and the other one is what I call my tomfoolery bracket, which is that I just like, you know what? I'm just gonna pick teams here. I'm gonna go against the grain here.
Right,
I'm gonna go against the established,
right,
and I'm going to pick with my heart. So I even picked my Razorbacks to get pretty far. Heck, I think I got my Razorback getting to the final four in my crazy bracket, and the other one, I got them going getting put out by I think they're gonna play Kansas, so that's gonna be a game. So that's how I had that one. But like I said,
right.
but the first shocker for me was Foreman, and I think that's the name of the look. I had to go and look and see who the hell are these guys and where are they from.
Exactly. After they lost, I was like, well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Uh,
I need a drink after seeing it.
Now the cool thing about it is that they beat see who did they beat Virginia. And the thing about it is that, and I'm sure the young man's feeling bad and crazy because it was like 1.2 seconds left and Virginia had the ball. They had a timeout, and all the guy had to do was just throw the ball, call a timeout, whatever. So he tried to throw it the distance of the court. It went out of bounds, didn't touch anybody. So the other team got it, scored, and they ended up playing some overtime or something. I'm like, man, you got to be kidding me. But that's why they call it March Madness because this team can get mad and crazy. But Alabama took care of business. They beat the crap out of or Texas A&M Krispy Kreme or whatever the heck they are, Corpus Krispy. You know what? I'm not gonna call them Krispy Kreme. I'm gonna call them because those young men work hard to get to where they are. I'm sure they're proud that they came. So big shout out to Texas A&M Corpus Krispy. But I will
Corpus Christi.
but I will tell you, somebody in my pool picked Texas A&M Corpus Christi to get to the championship game. I seriously? Yeah, to get to the championship game. Not to win, but they got them playing in the championship game. I was like, wow. You talk about faith. So it's got to be somebody that
Well,
either
I got my pastor used to say, keep hope alive.
It's got to be somebody either they go there or their kid goes there or their money goes to the university. So hey man, big shout out if that's their alumni. But hey, I love my alumni. I love the Hogs, but come on now,
Right.
come on now, come on now,
Yeah.
come on, come
My
on.
alarm lost in the first round too.
Who?
But my alarm lost in the first round too, Boise State. So
Yeah, yeah. You know what? Boise, I have been watching Boise all year, and one thing I knows about Boise is that they cannot shoot the ball. They got a lot of heart. They play with heart. They're gonna give you a good game, but they're just not good shooters, and then they caught up with them because they were playing the Northwestern Wildcats, and I mean it was a good game, but I thought they were gonna pull it out. Of course, Duke beat the crapping out of some little team that they were playing, but they're Duke. Now I'll tell you what I was disappointed was the A&M Aggies because I'm a big follower of the SEC. Kind of like I like Big 12. I've been watching them all year, so I'm more in tune with those. Didn't get the chance to see a lot of Big 10 basketball, Pac 10, which is UCLA, USC, and Arizona State. Didn't get a chance to watch them, but I was relying on what I was told and what a lot of the talking heads were saying about Arizona. Hey, these guys are good, da 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 da. And what did they do?
right. That's
What?
why I picked them. They lost like a mug and messed me up and everybody else.
Just busted my bracket, man. But bracket buster.
I'm sitting there looking crazy.
Bracket buster, bracket buster, bracket buster. Bracket buster indeed. Indeed. Well, hey, let me let you go because I got another caller want to get in here, and so let me see what's on their mind. But hey, appreciate you calling. March Madness Sports Therapy.
It's crazy.
It always is.
All right. Bye.
Sports Therapy, March Madness.
What's going on, brother? What's up, my brother?
Hi, what's up, brother man?
I'm just like my bracket, sleep.
Oh man, I tell you what, brother. It's been wild, man. You know what? I told everybody, man. I said, you know what? There are no dominant teams this year. You know what I'm saying?
It sure isn't.
There are no dominant
Anybody.
team. Anybody can win this bad boy, and God, man. First, let me start talk about.
It's not but a different game.
Oh man, let me start by talking about them the Hogs, man. The Hogs, I love them, but as I was telling one of my guests who was calling earlier, there are some people in the great state of Arkansas think that if you say something about the Hogs, then it's almost like they think you got to have blind faith that you can't call them out on all them the turnovers, the fact that they point guard who I love. I mean, good kid, good athlete, but when your point guard is shooting 50% from the free throw line, you got a problem.
And you got a big problem, and I tell you something else. They lying to them kids, telling them 4 stars and 5 stars. They need to quit lying to them kids, because that guy is not no 5-star basketball player, man.
Nah.
He's not a 5. He's not a 5-star, and they need to quit lying, telling them kids that.
Well,
He is not a 5-star. Jordan Washington not a. Arkansas don't have a 5-star on their team. Nick Smith not a 5-star.
I don't think that when you talk 5-star, they're to me true 5-star athletes are rare, and I think they're tagging too many of them. I like Nick Smith. I like Wash. I like all those guys. But truth be told, now I'm not their family. I don't know what their family conditions are, but I know because of the fact that guys can get paid while they're in college now. So it's not like you just on the team and you ain't got walking around money in your pocket. You can make just as much. I truly don't think those guys are ready for the NBA. I wish that they would just kind of take a look at Moody. You remember Moody? He had to go down to the C League before he can finally make his way
It
back
should have been
up.
about 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
Should have been 4 or 5 times.
Yeah. So I'm like, hey man, and now like I said, at the end of the day, I can't tell him not to go get paid, but I just know, just looking at their game as just from what I see, they're not ready to just be a day one NBA guy that's going to walk on a NBA court and just dominate or even contribute because I noticed that today Nick when he in there in crunch time, here's your so-called all-American guy. I'm not gonna take anything from him. He's a good kid, good. But if he's not on the court in crunch time, how is he ready to be a one and done?
Arkansas do not have a player on their team who's ready for the NBA. Not one. They don't even have a player close to the NBA. And I feel sorry for the NBA draft this year because if you got Nick Smith rated the top 5 in the NBA draft, man, something wrong.
There's something wrong with that
Something
pitch.
ain't right.
Something wrong with that pitch.
Something wrong, man. Yeah, I don't see what. Man, you look at the first team All America in college basketball this year. You tell me how many guys gonna go to the NBA and make an impact. Not only their first year, their first 3 years.
True.
That big boy from Duke, he probably won't even be in the league. He'll be overseas.
True.
And the kid from Indiana, he might look like about the only one with a little potential to have a decent NBA career coming off the bench.
Well, I can tell you when I look at how Wash and Nick and some of the other guys play. Hold on. Excuse me. As compared to this guy Santiago, I forgot his last name, that plays for Tennessee. He's like I don't know. He's been there maybe 5 or 6 years, but his game, you can tell the difference between a senior and a freshman. Now,
that's right.
His upside is nowhere near that of Nick's and Jordan Wash and my man Black, but it's the overall game that some of these seniors and juniors have. For example, the Hogs would not have won that game if it was not for Devo Davis. If because Debo is not afraid of the big moment, and that's what I'm not seeing in the young core. I'm seeing them where they're afraid of the big moment. It's almost like, okay, if I take this, they won't take the big shot.
Well, and you totally correct, man. Because you think about it, man. These guys just think 6 months ago they was in high school.
True.
Yeah. And then you got a guy like Debo. Debo had already been to 2 Elite Eights.
Yep.
He's been to two Elite Eights, and then they're already going to the second round. He got experience, and that tell you a lot right there. Because if Debo were playing for anybody else out of Arkansas, he'd be coming off the bench.
There's a good chance he would, and not only.
Sure, he would.
And not only that, when he was playing, when they went to the previous run that they made. He had some junior and senior guys that he can learn from.
Older guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, had older guys, had older guards.
Yep.
But see now, man, he don't have that, man.
Nope.
And then another thing, Muslim is a good coach. I give him credit for that. But that, man, why you don't play your bench, man? You can't sit there and tell me you got some of the best players in the country. But then you all about they don't play defense. What the hell y'all playing out there? I mean, give them a chance.
True that.
I know they be nervous when they come out there because they're freshmen, but they can't do no worse than what the other guys doing out there.
True that. Now, what got me was when Arkansas played, because, we're talking March Madness today, but, excuse me, when they played against Tennessee, when Tennessee lost their point guard, now, if that's not red meat to a lion, if you don't have a point guard, we are supposed to attack you that should be like, okay, we feasting here because you ain't got a decision maker. But it's almost like,
Right.
but
Correct.
when you got freshmen, they don't understand that. Juniors and seniors know that. Hey,
That's,
what? They ain't got no. They don't have no. Oh man, we're gonna press y'all. We're gonna do all kinds of things. And I was surprised that Musselman didn't take advantage of that, man. I really didn't. But hey, man, did you get a chance to watch any of the other games today?
I look, man. I felt well. I was at work today, and I got a chance to look at a little of who was that? I got a chance to look at. God, I think I'll start out looking at Louisiana. No, Oral Roberts and Duke.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Or
I did a
or
stop by on
Roberts
that
and
one.
Duke. Duke is a dangerous team. But I want to say something else about Arkansas. You got a 7'3", 7'4" guy. Even though I know he's not the greatest athlete in the world, but you didn't even play this guy last year. And here this guy averaged 13 or 14 points a game, 7 rebounds, second in the nation in block shots. Yeah, the dude could do something, man. Start just letting him 7'4" sitting there go to waste on the bench. You know, and he come to Oral Roberts and he played good basketball.
Well, because everything has to do with everybody's system. But I think what I'm starting to see with Musselman is that, like I said, we we're lucky to have him, I guess. But you can get so many good players. At some point, you still got to have role players. Now, I can get all the superstars and whatever. I can get an all-star team. Doesn't mean that we're gonna be able to do anything because I only have one ball. But I still got to get some cats that can shoot. I need some bangers. I need some guys that'll get out there and mix it up. I need just a variety of different players. So what I'm seeing is that he's great at recruiting, but sometimes when you're an NBA coach, you don't you're used to guys coming and going because that's what the NBA is. Guys come, they go, they come, they go, and they already have the skill set already. You don't really have to nurture them. You don't have to do anything with NBA players when you're an NBA coach. So sometimes I see that, and I see the fact that okay, I know he can draw up NBA sets and plays for some of the guys, which helps them because some of the plays he can draw up. Some of those college guys that he's going against haven't seen that. But by the same token, sometimes these college kids who just coming out of high school, sometimes they don't have that development yet, and
That's true.
they don't. It's just not there because I see a lot of with Wash, and I see him pick up a lot of fouls. He picks up a lot of his fouls because he does a lot of high school reaching. He's not being taught to move. As you get older and more seasoned, you learn, okay, I'm going to, instead of reaching, I might, do with the forearm and elbow. I'm using more of my body, more lower body movement, so I don't get called on those ticky tack fouls. Um, that's something but like I said, when you are a NBA coach, you don't have the time because the NBA game is called different. You know what I'm saying? They're not calling it as
Yeah.
tight as college, so you don't have to worry about that. You can grab somebody in the NBA. They ain't calling that, man. Some players, you not gonna call
Nah.
anything on them. They can mug you. They ain't calling that play, man.
Yeah,
Like nah.
but another thing too, man, Arkansas don't have nobody can shoot the basketball. No consistent shooter.
Nah, they,
You
they,
know, I
they
mean, just
well, and that's why I think another year would benefit all the guys, because I think after another year they won't, because now they're trying to think and play, and you can't think and play basketball. Basketball is a reaction game, man. You get out there and you act. You can't think and play, and right now they're trying to think and play, and that's what freshmen do. Yeah, they are good athletes, but at the end of the day, like you said, man, hell, they were playing high school ball last year, so you start to see that come out,
yeah,
and when you start
yeah.
to get,
You can see the experience.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you can see it tails off and everything. But I still say college basketball is good this year because you got a lot of different
oh
teams.
yeah, yeah, it's
That you
exciting.
got a chance. But the athletic part looked like it went down this year compared for the last few years. Because you take a team like Baylor that won the national championship team a couple of years ago, man, they blew out most of these teams in here right now.
Well, what's happening is that
So, right back.
what's happening is that guys are playing either they're your top ones are going on to the NBA, while the other ones are getting into the system and going to another college. And so, for example, when Illinois, who the Hogs play, they had this kid Meyer, and Meyer was on that Baylor
Baylor
championship team.
team.
Yeah, he was on that team. I remember him.
Yeah,
He was on there.
me too.
Yeah, and so
But now you got so many kids. You got so many kids transferring now.
right,
So you really can't hardly keep up
right.
with who's, unless you know till the start of the season.
Hmm.
Because right now, you for the first week, so in college basketball, you probably got about 50 players right now in the transfer portal,
Yep.
waiting
Yeah.
to get transferred.
Yep. Because it's almost like okay, I'm not getting any playing time. But a lot of times, I see guys play for one coach and he's averaging, I don't know, maybe 2 points a game, and he transferred to another college, and all of a sudden he's the main star on that team. So it's like, okay, well, coach, why you couldn't do anything with this kid and he's over here? A lot of times it's the system that they play in and whatever. So hey, man, it is what it
Yeah,
is.
because that boy played with Arkansas last year. I think his last name Chance. Boston never did play him about 3 games all year. Now this boy averaged about 16, 17 points a game. I forgot what school.
Yeah.
And that boy from Alabama, he got on the bench now. How you gonna tell me you's a 2-time high school player of the year in the state of Alabama? Or here you gonna come to Arkansas, ride the bench all year behind Joe's opinion from Morton. Now explain it to me.
Yeah, well,
You tell me that you
like I said, I think he's good at recruiting a lot of these guys, but you can't see. It's not like the NBA, because a lot of times in the NBA, when you get to the playoffs, guys, coaches like to shorten up they roster. Like, hey, we're only gonna play 7, 8 play. In high school, especially when you got a group, when you got, just truth be told, Arkansas could realistically roll probably about at least 10 deep. They can roll
that's
10
what I
deep.
said,
So
man.
when you start, all of a sudden you got guys, man, that you don't recruit it, and they're not getting to play. It's like, come on, man. Now don't give me. I just think they would have been more developed, but every coach got his style. But I just think they would have been more developed if he would have let. Just like right now, you still trying to find out who is your team, who's your team. It's like, for example, he started Johnson. Johnson brings a lot of toughness to the team. I like the fact that you got to have that kind of guy. You need
Yeah.
that. You need a cat that go in and mix it up, and then every once in a while, you need to go big with them big them big twins. But you got all that talent, but you got to do something with it, man. Because
Yeah, you got to. I tell you what though, they got a chance. Arkansas the type of team will go in there and upset Kansas.
well, they got a good chance of beating Kansas. Here's the thing about the Hogs, man, and that, if you could see me, you realize, man, I got my Razorback hat, my Razorback shirt, so I'm Woo Pig Suey all day long. But here's the thing about the Hogs. And this is just my summation. And callers, if you out here and you want to call and get all upset, you're welcome to do that. But my thing about the Hogs is this. I don't like their chances in close games. All
Oh
because
no! Oh no! Oh no!
all because
Oh no!
they have young freshman ball handlers, and they don't execute. They don't have that killer yet. They don't have that killer.
Nah.
They just, and you can't. A freshman is not going to have that. They just don't have that killer instinct yet. Um, and so when it comes to close games, if I worry about the Hogs. Now, if you can see today, they won by almost 10 points. But when it comes to those games with last possession, they don't value every possession, and that's what makes me pull my hair out at times. Every possession, when it comes to a close game, they don't value it. They'll throw the ball away. Just guys bringing the ball up by them, just them two, and they'll throw it away. I'm like, what? What the hell? Or for example, they were playing today. You're up by I don't know about 8 or 9 points. You decided to throw an alley-oop. No boy missed the dunk, but you didn't have to throw that.
Yeah.
It's like, why?
I didn't have to throw that.
Nah.
Man.
It's like, dude, keep the ball. You 2-on-1. You go to the hoop, and if you miss, your boy's there to back you up. He decided he gonna throw a rim rocking lob, and Musba almost pulled his hair out. He's like, man. And I'm like, but as you can see, when that team slapped up, when Illinois slapped the press on them, they turned the ball over about 4 or 5 times in a row. Nick turned it over. Nick turned it over 2 or 3 times. That's how they get him out, because he's not. And also, one last thing, and I'm gonna let you get in here. Nick is 6'5". He's a slender 6'5". So he and I'm sure as his body fill out, he'll get a little bit bigger. But at 6'5", you're gonna be a point guard, and right now he can't handle the pressure being a point guard. And I know he's a scorer, but he's what you call a combo guard. But I'm like, come on, man.
He's not NBA ready.
Oh,
man, he's not. Nah, he's not NBA ready. That boy, I seen some guys in high school just as good as Nick Smith.
But
that boy from Little Rock, Mills. They got a boy here in Arkansas, Cole, coming to Arkansas. Just as good as Nick Smith to me.
But I will tell you that Black's upside is probably a little bit more than Nick's, because he's a 6'7" point guard. That's why I think he needs one more year to work on his shot. Because once he get a shot, a consistent shot, outside shot, he's gonna be dangerous.
Yeah, and see, that's what I thought he had when he came to Arkansas. I wanted the type of shot where he could bag a little man in and post him up and shoot over him.
Yeah.
But he hadn't shown me he could do that yet.
Well, today's game, man, don't nobody want to be a post player. In today's game, man, everybody want to be a stretch 3 or a stretch 4. But like I said, he still needs to have, because you talk about you're gonna be a one and done, man. What they'll do in the NBA, man, they'll bag off you and tell you shoot that ball, just like what's my man. Because he's a good athlete, but his shot is very inconsistent. Russell Westbrook. He's a scorer, but man, sometimes your best defense against Westbrook is, hey man, I'm not going to go out there and just put a lot of defensive pressure on you. I'm going to bag up and let you just look at the whole rim, and he'll, and it's like, okay. But anyway, man, I'll tell you, man, my Arizona just blew up my bracket and everybody else. Now they didn't do any real long-term damage to me, because I had them. I'm finna pull my bracket up here. I had Arizona. They're in the South, so they're in there with Virginia. So, man, I had them in my my bracket that I let the computer pick. Man, I had them fools getting to. Oh man, they were getting to at least the Elite 8. They had them getting to the at least 8, man, and they fooled around and lost to, oh man, some little bitty school, man. Like, seriously? Oh.
But man, you got to think about it though. Arizona, Virginia.
Yep.
And it's one more school. They got a reputation for losing in the first round to schools like that. Virginia, this is not their first rodeo. They the first school to get put out by a 16 seed.
I know. Following the fact that you don't want a national championship, and then you get put out by, because when we were coming up, we always said that it was always said that a 1 will never beat a 16. Now a 2 can beat a 14, but a 1, man, that's the equivalent of a high school team losing to a middle school team. It ain't supposed to. It ain't supposed to never happen. We supposed to play around with them, and knowing that anytime we could just beat them by 50 points. It's like, that ain't supposed to never happen. But yeah, man. So But like I said, they Virginia they did horrible, but they didn't blow everybody's bracket up the way Arizona did. And I'll tell you,
Arizona,
but but,
nah.
but you know, I'll tell you a team that I thought that was gonna do something, and I had them because you know what I've been doing is really been watching SEC. I watched some Big 12 basketball because they got some hoopers there. But I mostly watch SEC Big 12. Every once in a while, I'll drive by and watch some Pac-10. Um, I really didn't follow the Big 10 or the Big East like I normally do because the Big East ain't what it used to be. You know, you got teams up
Right.
there. I mean, they there, but they don't make noise like they used to. But
Nah.
I thought A&M was gonna do something, man. They got their socks blew off today, man.
Who beat them?
Shoot, man, they got beat by Penn State. Penn State beat them by over 20 points.
Man, you got to be joking, man.
nah, nah. Right before I came on air, man, I was like, okay, because because I said that I would start the show as soon as the last game ended. I'm like, man, you know what? Because truth be told, um, I said, truth be told, man, let me kick this thing off. They were down by 20 points. I'm like, okay. They tried to make a little comeback and then nah, it wasn't happening. I'm like, come on, come on. So I thought they were gonna do something, man. Truth be told, I did.
Yeah.
Now it's funny that the team that everybody think is gonna get taken to the woodshed might do a little something because everybody think Kentucky ain't finna get their butt whooped.
Now they better watch Kentucky.
Everybody think they finna get their
Kentucky
butt whooped.
dangerous.
Everybody think they
Yeah,
gonna get their butt
they
whooped.
dangerous.
Man, now,
Man.
but hey, I'm finna go on the limb and say this. I think the Hogs are going to beat Kansas
I do too.
because
I do too.
because Kansas is not gonna play Arkansas the way everybody else plays Arkansas. Everybody else won't play Arkansas in a man because because they got a bunch of Arkansas got they got those freshmen. And if you slap a zone on them like everybody do, then we have problems. We have problems because now
Yeah.
they got to think and they got. But if you fool around and play man, them youngsters they got to think now. Now the athleticism comes into play. So I think they match up well. They're a lot bigger, more athletic than Kansas. So I think if Kansas fool around, because Kansas is a team that's known to just play up and down. Now, if you want to go up and down with the Hogs, I think you might have some problems.
Well, I think the key to beating Kansas is gonna be the Mitchell boys.
Oh yeah, because
If
Kansas
they
ain't
have
that
a
big.
decent game, I think they got a chance.
Yeah, but like I said, but only problem is if it comes down to if the game is close within 2 or 3 points, then I think Kansas will win because Arkansas don't value possessions. They'll come down and
Yeah.
just do something crazy and like, dude, stop turning the ball over. Stop. But if it's just basketball, and if Arkansas, just like today, they got out to, oh man, they had a nice little lead and they maintained it, and it took Illinois spent a lot of energy coming back now. Truth be told, Kansas is going to be a lot better outside shooting team than Illinois, and that's one thing Arkansas got to deal
Oh
with.
yeah.
Because the one thing about them there Jayhawks, they can shoot it. That little kid
They sure can.
named Dick, he can shoot it. They got another kid on there. They can shoot. They
Yeah.
can shoot the rock. They ain't that big. They're not that big. They're not as athletic a team as Kansas normally have. But they can shoot the ball now. You can go inside on them, and that's what I think Arkansas
Yeah.
gonna have to do. Like you said, the Mitchell boys, the Mitchell twins, they're gonna have to show up.
Gonna beat you.
They
Yeah,
got
they got to show up on Saturday.
and
Sure, yeah.
you know who else gonna have to show up? Nick Smith.
That's
Nick,
right.
because Nick
And,
is Nick got to start playing. Okay, I need to be playing like I got NBA scouts watching me, and right now I didn't see that. I didn't see that at
nah.
all. In fact, like I said, um, Yeah, he might have a bad game, and good thing he had the other guys to carry him today. But hey, if you're saying you're one and done, and people saying, "Hey, you're a top 5 pick," you should not be not out there playing in crunch time. And yeah, look, I'm not being critical of the young man. I like his game. Um, I wish he had been there all year, but hey, man, this is where you get to showcase your talent, man. In the big dance, man. When you at the big dance, you got to show your talent.
That's true.
You know, and I've said
True.
Arkansas don't have a Batman. You got to have a Batman. You know, they got a bunch of Robins. But
Yeah. They
last time
don't
I
have it there.
checked, last time I checked, hell, they didn't make they make no show built up around Robin. You gotta have a Batman. You gotta be Batman. You gotta be
That's right.
somebody that when it come down to a crunch time, I'm the man. I'm the go-to man. They don't have that. Now, I'll tell you who's the guy that comes through for him and make plays is Debo.
Yeah.
He'll take the big
Yep.
shot. He'll hit some deep threes. His shot look ugly when it leave, but hey, the old saying, man, if you looking at that rim, if you concentrate on that rim, it don't make a difference what your shot look like. If you got confidence and you let it fly. But
That's all that matters.
the rest of them won't take the big shot. They won't. And
Nah.
and you know what I'm seeing from Nick, I don't really like, but I know, like you said, man, he was a freshman last year, but I'm not seeing him really want to take that contact.
Nah. It's not physical.
Because I've seen him do some fadeaway, fall away type throw shots. I'm like, come on, Nick. Now, when his confidence is up, now he can ball. Like I said, the talent is there. I would like to see the young man stay one more year just to work on his some things that he need to work on. His ball handling under pressure, taking over a game. You know, that's a part of his game. I like to see him, and I think you can only get that way when you're in college, where because when you get to the NBA, they don't give a crap about you. You're just a product. You know what I'm saying? You just a skill. You're a product. But
Right.
when you're in college, everybody want to work with you to show you how to get better. And I think
That's right.
and then, like I said, because they got it now where you can pay the players, so there's no reason for him to be able to say, well, hey, hell, I had to leave to support my family. No, no, no. Now you can make it's some kids
Nah.
making millions of dollars just playing college basketball.
That's true.
So it's not, you know, because come
Sure
on,
is.
because you get endorsements and stuff in college now. So I'm like, come on, man. I ain't saying I'm not saying he needs to stay because I want to see him play, which I do, but I just think in the long run, I think he could benefit for one more year. I think Jordan Wash could benefit from another year. Anthony Black
Their
could,
whole team.
could benefit from another year. Yeah, they could.
Yeah, that's true. Yep, that's true.
They could benefit from one
You
more
sure
year,
right.
man. Yup. But yeah, man, tomorrow is going to be now. Let me ask you this question. I think the team that I think gonna win it all, especially since Virginia and Arizona is out of there. I think Alabama's gonna have a cakewalk at least to the Final Four because there's nobody else in the
I
South.
think they're gonna.
There's
I
nobody
think
else
they're
in
gonna
their
win the whole
bracket, man.
thing.
Well,
Nah,
if they don't get caught napping, if they stay hungry, I don't see anybody beat them because their biggest competition I see for them will probably come out of because out of the teams that's left in the South in the East where they at, you got of Baylor's in there, but Baylor don't play any defense. They ain't like what they used. They got a good offense, but they don't play defense. Now they'll give Alabama a game. They get them slipping. Purdue, but Purdue got one good player, but that's I mean they're a good team, but they ain't and then again Purdue may not get past Memphis. Memphis got some talent too. Now if any team that could probably, if they get past Purdue, if they meet Alabama, Memphis might get them a game. But all the rest of them,
Memphis tough.
all the rest of them coming out there, I don't really see because I think they can handle. They know they can handle Tennessee. They've been they don't play Tennessee enough. So but I just think their competition will come from that Midwest and the West because in the Midwest now I don't think Houston gonna survive another game because the kid Sasser, they number one player, he got a groin injury, so he's gonna be out. So now Houston played well today, but I don't see them. I don't see them getting going too much farther. And other teams now, you got Texas in there. Now them Longhorns match up real well against Alabama. They bet and see the Longhorns are the Razorbacks, but they're more experienced.
That's right.
They're the Hogs, but they're the Hogs that they're the Hog 2.0 because their guys are juniors and they got a few freshmen, but they got some experience, man. And I haven't seen a lot of UConn, and they're saying they're pretty good, but I haven't seen a lot of UConn Huskies, so I really can't. Gonzaga, they're just playing on reputation. They're not as athletic as they normally be, and even though they still got Drew Timmy, but he's just a one man team by himself. He don't have those guards like they had before that kind of got them a long way in the big dance. So that's gonna be yeah. I did watch UCLA today. I went back and forth on that game. There's nothing about them that scares me. Like I was telling you and everybody else, man. There's still about 20 teams, man, that can win this thing. But I just think right now Alabama's in the driving seat as long as they don't have an injury or something like that. Because I think my man pulled a groin.
Who, Miller?
Yep.
Yeah, but they still tough though. They can get by.
They can't get by without him, man. He
ain't gonna win it without him.
Right. He makes it different because
but they can make it to the Elite Eight without him.
Yeah, because you play them a whole way different. When that guy when that guy is out there, your defense is centered towards him, and that makes those other cats have a good game. But when Miller's not there, only thing that Alabama is susceptible to is that their guards are not that big. Their guards are not that big. Quinlan and that other kid, they're not that big, but they season, especially Quinlan because he's a veteran. He's been around a minute. So,
right.
Like I said, if there's not injuries or anything like that, brother, I really don't see. I don't see anything that would keep them from getting to the big dance. But when you number one, Glenn, when you number one, everybody give to play you when you number one, brother. You know that.
Yeah, you know 100.
Thank you. That's why I was telling one of my partners at work. I said, "Hey, man, I would rather," and I said I would rather for Arkansas to win a couple of games in the SEC tournament. I said, I don't want them to win the whole tournament. I said, I want them to win a couple of games and get beat so they get hungry again. And then, of course, he disagreed with me. And I said, because when you go into the tournament, you ain't lost the game, and I'm like, everybody want to play you. And sooner or later, that loss is going to come. So I'd rather for you to get beat in the SEC tournament or in your conference tournament, and instead of you go on some 10-game winning streak, and next thing you know, you get your butt whooped. Like nah.
That's true.
Nope. But hey, brother, it's been real, man. It's good talking to you. But like I said, this is something new we're trying. And we'll be doing this thing again tomorrow night. And as soon as the last jump shot go through the hoop, or the last layup, or the last free throw is missed, or the last buzzer beater, so we'll be calling. We'll be coming on doing a recap. Hopefully, when the Hogs play, like I tell people, now look, part of the show, you can always come on and toot your horn about your team because I'm always be down with the Hogs. Now I'm gonna criticize them too, but I'm still gonna be, I'm still Woo Pig Suey. But It's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be interesting, man, because this bad boy is definitely gonna tighten up. I'm sure there gonna be some more upsets tomorrow. Some more brackets gonna get busted up, and then Saturday and Sunday, that's when we're gonna separate the contenders from the pretenders, because now there's gonna be some major upsets this weekend. I guarantee you on that, brother. All right. But hey, man, it's been real. Appreciate you calling, man. And you're about to hear the sound of my music, and we getting ready to shut this bad boy down. All right, this has been our new March Madness Sports Therapy, where we do a recap of the day's games. It's been fun, it's been real, and it's been new. I am your host, and we will see you once again tomorrow night as soon as the last jump shot go through the hoop. Thanks to all my callers for calling, and appreciate you calling, and all the listeners. If you want to be a guest, if you want to take part in the show, you can always call at 940-329-4110, and I hope your bracket remain intact. Goodbye, everybody.